So I've decided to do something different for the next few weeks. Now, in between all of this, I could be bringing you up to date on what's happening with my husband's estate. But in the interim, I'm going to be answering frequently asked questions. And one of the biggest frequently asked questions is how much money you actually need to retire in Canada. And that means spending the winters here as well. Because if you do travel outside of, I'll say Canada, or even if you had a second property, like I know some people that have property in British Columbia as well as Ontario. Because for some, they don't want to be leaving Canada because of healthcare, or I'll say the cost of the American dollar, or other places. Anyway, so they prefer to stay in the country. But depending on your lifestyle, that is going to be different for everybody. But a good, I'll say, average amount to think about would be between 1 million and 1.5 million. Obviously, the more money you have in savings, the better, and the more decisions you can make on what you want to do with your lifestyle. Because if you have a lot of expensive hobbies, you may need more than, I'll say, $1 million at retirement, depending on whether or not you have a pension. It also depends on whether or not you're maintaining a home or you're renting a home. And when I say home, it doesn't have to be an individual single-family home. It could be an apartment. But you know, if you live in Toronto or Vancouver, those rents are going to be much higher than if you live maybe in Sudbury or Timmins or Manitoba, Winnipeg. It depends on where you want to be. And that could be, you might change your residence in retirement because you might have family in another province and that's where you want to go. Or you may be staying here but downsizing to try to take some of the equity out of your house to help you support your retirement lifestyle. But the sooner you start saving, the less you have to put away, depending on where you are in the spectrum. Because if you're young and you start putting money away, you may be able to stop in your mid-30s because you're married with a mortgage, with kids and different things, and you don't have the extra cash anymore. But that might be okay, because if we plan out long enough, you may have the money that you're going to need. But keep this in mind when you're starting to take money out of your retirement savings. So say you have a pension, but a lot of us don't. You'll have CPP, but some don't. And you'll have old age security. But again, if you're making too much money, you won't even get that. But depending on the sources of income, whatever you're drawing down from your savings, it is suggested, and I am a CFP, which is a certified financial planner, but it's recommended that we based all of our plans on withdrawing 4%. You could have, and you could be making a lot more, but they say to keep the plan intact, don't overestimate how much you can withdraw. Keeping 4% is very conservative. And say your money continues to grow, that's good. If you need a chunk of money to take a trip, buy a car, replace the roof on your house, you know that you can do it and it's not going to harm your plan. But $1 million to $1.5 million at a 4% withdrawal rate is what you should be looking at, sort of as a guideline. It's only a guideline. So what you want to do is sit down with your financial advisor, hopefully me, or somebody on my team, to find out what is going to work for you. There's lots to think about and things that you might not have considered, and exploring this together will help you on the right path to your financial freedom in retirement. If you want to know more, go on our calendar on our website at Levesque Wealth Planning, book your free appointment, or give us a call. I'm Linda Levesque of IA Private Wealth of Levesque Wealth Planning saying, you asked, we answered. Until next time.